What's going on, guys? So I am in my final days of having this 2020 Chevy Silverado two-wheel drive regular cab diesel dually pickup truck in a work truck configuration. Very, very cool truck. This truck has pretty much all the basic amenities I think most people need, but in a package that's far more affordable than what a lot of people might think. There are a lot of reasons to like this truck, but I wanted to give you my final impressions of it before this truck gets sent back to General Motors. So hang tight, I'll be right back. Alright, so I can still honestly tell you it's not a smooth ride if you're on a bumpy road and this truck doesn't have any weight in it. If you don't have a fifth wheel loaded up, a gooseneck loaded up, something heavy in the back, it's going to bounce you around a little bit. And that is exactly the same as any manufacturer that builds a truck in this configuration, whether it's Ford, Ram, or General Motors. They all share that same kind of bouncy, rough ride when unladen, when there's no weight in the back. You have to really put upwards of about 2,000 pounds of weight over this back axle to really settle down the suspension in a way that makes it a smooth ride. And that's simply because you have so many very, very stiff leaf springs back there that are designed to handle weight. So something that's not uncommon with any brand. The seats, however, are really comfortable. What I do wish that they would do in this truck is put a standard power seat as your driver's seat, at least to lift the seat up or put it down. I feel like I'm slouched really low, and unless I was 6'5", I don't feel like my head would be high enough to see over the front as comfortably as I'd like to, or as comfortably as I could if I had a power seat option, at least up and down. That's all I'm asking for. Now, in terms of capabilities, this truck has a cargo capacity that is slightly north of 6,300 pounds and a towing capacity of 35,500 pounds. This is a monster when it comes to towing, when it comes to its payload capacity. This truck is almost ideal for someone who might want to live off-grid, throw a slide-in camper on the back, or it's just a couple who's towing a very heavy, long fifth wheel down the road and you want a package designed for that. What's really cool about this package is the fact that, again, it gives you just about anything you might be looking for aside from a navigation screen, but with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it's not very difficult to share the screen that you have on your phone, which would give you the navigation capabilities, plus all the other features that modern smartphones have. Now, in terms of looks, this is going to be an interesting one. This truck has a very interesting look to it. I know that there's going to be people who think it is just the worst, ugliest truck they've ever seen, and I know there's going to be people who absolutely love this look. The way I want you to kind of imagine the direction that I feel Chevy went with this look is that survival knife that Rambo carried around. This is that look. This is that aggressive, serrated, big, beefy knife that he carried around that really symbolizes rugged, really symbolizes macho, really symbolizes that look that some people really want to have, and they actually make their truck look when they're trying to modify it, but it does it right out of the gate. Now, if you get this in a higher trim package like a High Country, you are going to have almost an entirely different look, while interestingly enough keeping the same type of design, because the higher spec packages have definitely dressed up the front with more chrome, more shininess. It just looks more, I guess, executive, whereas the work truck package looks menacing, huge, a lot of plastic, and kind of plain. But at the same time, what you can't do is you can't say that they don't look unique, that if you see one of these trucks, you generally will look at it simply because it looks so different than what you're used to with a heavy-duty pickup truck. And looking at this grille, even in a work truck configuration, makes people turn their heads and go, wow, that is a cool-looking truck. Even if the conversation starts with how ugly they think it looks, it usually ends with them coming away thinking it's a cool truck overall. If it's simply because it's a regular cab, if it's because it's a dually, but I think the overall package has kind of a cool look to it. If you couple this with a crew cab four-wheel drive configuration, a slightly taller stance, bigger wheels and tires, I think that it definitely comes across a lot softer on people. People will generally give it a bit more of a break, and they'll look at it like it is just a very cool, aggressive package versus a very strange package. Now, the other way to look at this is if you are a legacy Ford owner, or you own Ford and that's all you're ever going to buy, you might prejudge the look of this truck before you ever give it an opportunity. Same with Ram owners, and same with the GM owners who look at the new designs from Ram and Ford. I can honestly tell you that when Ram released their newest body design, the 2019 heavy-duty trucks, they almost universally were accepted well by Ford and Chevy owners. When Ford released their Super Duty in 2017 with the new look, the spy shot pictures that were revealed, I can honestly tell you, almost made me gag. I saw a truck. It was a spy shot that was taken in a showroom of some building. Somebody clearly took a picture when they weren't supposed to. It was of a 2017 two-wheel drive truck that had the base standard front end on it without the LED light package. And when I saw that picture, I thought it was the ugliest truck on the market. I was so ashamed that Ford thought that was a good-looking truck. And I think that sentiment was almost universally echoed in all the forums and by all the people who looked at that truck. But then later, you saw the higher trim specs with the LED lighting package, with the nicer grills, things like that, and all of a sudden the truck looks really good. You couple that with a four-wheel drive package and the truck looks even better. And I think that's the same thing here. This is a work truck package. It does look different. It still looks bold. It still stands out. But at the same time, it's a little bit off-putting to people who are expecting it to look fancier, are expecting it to have LED lighting, are expecting it to look similar to what you might see with a high country package. So I just want you to keep that in mind whenever you're looking at these trucks. The work truck configuration is kind of meant to be that very plain configuration, the one that doesn't have a lot of pizzazz to it, because GM leaves that to their higher trim package. But what is really cool about this is that blacked out work truck grille, I think, appeals to a lot of people who want that look, who are looking for that, like I said, menacing look. They're looking for that Rambo knife look in a truck. And in some cases, they would try to make their truck look like this in the aftermarket if it didn't. So, at the end of the day, it really comes down to personal preference. I don't think it's an ugly looking truck by any means. Do I think it's an especially good looking truck? I think if you get this in a higher trim package, it tends to be a very good looking truck. In this configuration, I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest with you. But all that being said, I still think it's a very cool truck. I think it is a very unique truck. And I think there's a lot to like about this truck. So, when you look at it more with an open mind in terms of, could you live with the truck that looked like this? Could you live with the truck with the towing numbers, the payload capacity, the regular cab configuration? Could you live with a truck that has all of this technology, even in a work truck package? And how does the overall package appeal to you? Anyways, guys, I just wanted to do that quick follow-up video. I'm going to be returning this truck in a few days, and I figured I'd share it with you. I've put roughly 500 miles on the truck. Really like it so far. It does beat me up a little bit driving down the road, but I expected that going into this review because I've driven all of the trucks in this configuration. This is the maximum tow, maximum payload configuration you need to get a truck in. And right off the bat, when you use those two specifications, you're gonna have a truck with a pretty rough unloaded ride. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up. Please hit the notification button so you know when I have new videos that go up. I really appreciate you watching my content. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you again soon.